Thank you very much for joining us at the News at 10.
Thank you.
It must have been quite an experience having been in captivity since the last for 6 days and
7 days.
7 days. Okay.
Yeah.
And but the last 24 hours must have brought some relief to you.
Yes.
What does it feel to be back home?
It's a wonderful experience. It tells the story of the grace of God upon anyone's life, including myself. After going through, it's an excruciating, unexpected pains. And I went through it in the hands of my captors. And the last 24 hours that have been released, I'm really happy.
Yeah, in narrating the incident, your driver said you were crossed by 4 armed men. What happened thereafter?
I mean, my driver and the occupants of the vehicle with me, I had a civil defense young man who acts as my not a guide, but like an orderly that I go about with just to create some presence of a uniformed person around me. So he was not carrying any gun. He doesn't carry gun. So we were accosted and they were thrown out of the vehicle, and I was picked, and their own team entered our vehicle, and they turned, and they were going towards Imashai from Shawanjo. I was coming from my farm. And then they drove me to a forest. And they parked the car. After we turned to go to Ayeto, then they parked inside the bush and then organized an Okada rider. Probably they've been using for this kind of job, ready to carry me and one armed person into a bush. And then I to woodland.
But when you were thrown out of the vehicle, you didn't sustain any injury?
No, they didn't. I was not thrown out. They threw the occupants out. I was they prevented me from getting out. That was the first thing. And then they joined in. Their team joined in, 2 of them with me in the car. The kingpin was the driver, became the driver now, with another person in front.
Okay, but while in captivity, how did your captors treat you?
It was very tough. It was very tough initially. Very, very tough, because the negotiation in the first camp, that's the first forest where I was taken. It was then after the attack and they parked the car, then they took me on a bike to a place where they will not be found, and then their kingpin, who originally drove the car, now came later to tell me about what he needed from me, which was 100 million.
100 million?
Yeah.
But then, were you tortured by the captors?
No, I wasn't tortured, but the instrument of making me stay in the bush was very, 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 very hard.
How
and on the way to where they were taking me, I sustained injury on the bike because we fell down many times.
Senator, we did sorry about this.
We fell down many times, and the silencer of the bike burnt me, and they didn't allow me to cry. So I should shut up because they didn't want anyone to see them.
But that must have been an excruciating pain.
That's what
so when you cried, what was the reaction?
They reacted and said, shut up.
But at that point in time, while in incarceration, what was going through your mind?
I was confused, really. I was at the beginning. I was confused because I never thought such could happen, especially in that my area here. I never thought it could happen. But what was going to my mind was, especially when we got to the second bush, was after the negotiation, he disappeared. That if I love myself, I should make we should make contact quickly for the 100 million, so that I could leave their camp immediately.
So were you given access to call a family member or someone who could bail you out?
Well, there was the access did not come that night. It was on the second day. They have seized all the phones, and my phone was with the kingpin. So when he came to visit me on the third camp, he came to visit me on the third camp, and he now was saying that if I know people will bail me out, because according to what he learned, it seems they had the wrong information about me, but they were looking for money, and they will release me without money. So he now took my phone, all the phone numbers that were on my phone. He had access to them. Then he will ask me, who do I call? Then he will call. It's like a conference telephone discussion. So I couldn't reveal anything, the state I was, to anyone, because he will hear. I realized where I was on the second day, because there were some churches at distance doing night vigil, and they were talking about the area. So I quickly got the area, but that was in Obada, Udemy. But I couldn't disclose where I was to anyone. They were calling. So they started calling people to say that, they know, they already have the information that have been captured by some kidnappers, and that this is what their demand was, that we should bring 100 million. And people were saying, they would negotiate. So they were calling, and people were begging them, were talking about it, that they should take this, they should take that. But eventually, they said, even if I didn't have money, I have enough influence in the country for me to contact everyone that would love me not to die, to donate money.
But between the period of hope and despair, who were you thinking of?
Well, I was thinking about the works of God.
Amongst your family members, who was the first? Who were you thinking of most?
That would give me money.
Oh, just missing, spending.
It's everyone. Everyone that I've had contact with, that I love, especially those of them around me here in Ilaro here.
Before we wind down this, tell us how you were rescued.
Oh, I didn't eat. I was fasting. I told them I needed only two bottles of water, big bottles, 3 liters every day. So I was sipping that every day. And I was praying, but not allowed.
Senator, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.